This is not financial advice, not legal advice, for entertainment, educational purposes only, and anything I say is my opinion. Please don't make any financial decision based on anything I say in these videos. Listen, I have come to the conclusion that the SEC, the DOJ, the FBI, they know exactly what's going on in the market. They know about all the fraud and corruption, but these bad actors have been conditioned to steal as much as possible, to do so much criminality that if the regulators come in and start to enforce the laws, it will wreck the market. So instead of protecting retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules, the regulators are protecting the market. They're protecting the system. They put that above retail investors. They put that above pension funds. They put that above institutions that follow the rules. That is really the only explanation right now, because the evidence of the fraud and corruption is overwhelming. Anybody who says they're not naked shorting stocks is lying or has not been paying attention for the last 5 years. Anybody that thinks that the fines are nonsense compared to the money they make from illegal activity, it is talking out the side of their neck, okay? Everything we've seen over the past 5 years have proven to us that there is severe manipulation in the United States stock market. In AMC, GME, MULN, MMTLP, and a whole lot of other stocks, there has been so much naked shorting, billions, possibly trillions of counterfeit shares. And if we can see it, the regulators can see it also. The law enforcement can see it also. The SEC, the DOJ, the FBI, they all see all the fraud and corruption in the market. But you know what they do? They allow it to continue, because if they go in and let the world know how corrupt the system is, it could collapse the global economy. And because of that, the regulators sit back and allow these big criminals to continue stealing. And you know what it does? It emboldens the criminals to steal more, because they know the bigger the crime, the harder it will be for the regulators to bring them to justice, because bringing them to justice puts the whole system at risk. And from what I've been watching, what I've been analyzing, they put protecting the system over protecting retail investors, over protecting pension funds, over protecting institutions that follow the rules. These guys, like Virtue, Citadel, Jane Street, they are too big to enforce. Okay? They are too big to enforce, because the regulators know that if they hold these guys accountable, the entire market can collapse. But I believe that we are going to see some major changes because of the NWBO lawsuit, the MULN lawsuit, and my lawsuit. Because if we get our hands on that trading history, on those blue sheets, the regulators won't be able to sit on the sideline no more and practice willful blindness to all the fraud and corruption that's going on in the market. Bottom line is this: the regulators sit on the sidelines while the big criminals do what they do, because they have created crimes that are so big that enforcing them would put the whole system at risk. And the bad actors know this, and that's why they steal big, because they know if they keep stealing big, the regulators won't really do anything, because the regulators are protecting the system. They're not protecting retail investors. They're not protecting pension funds. They're not protecting institutions that follow the rules. They're protecting the system. And protecting the system means allowing big criminals to continue to rob and steal from us. Anyway, please leave some comments. Tell me what you think. Do you think that the regulators put protecting the system over protecting retail investors, pension funds, and institutions that follow the rules from the fraud and corruption that's overwhelmingly obvious in the United States stock market. Anyway, have a great day. God bless, and I appreciate y'all on this journey with me.